Hello, everyone. We are live, I hope.
I hope so too.
Yeah. So, I guess chat, please let me know. Are we live? I don't see the chat moving, so I don't know. For Testify's... okay, well, there's a chat. For Testify's Christmas present, I sent a card to his grave with gift certificates for Disney Plus and a note that said, "You're missing all the Star Wars shows. Haha, you suck." Yes, you are live. Oh, thank God. Oh, fuck. Okay.
Yeah.
So we got...
One of these days.
Shut up, Vicky. Jesus Christ, Vicky. I'm joined as always by the rude interrupting Vicky. Okay.
We tried
You
really
are live.
hard.
Testify is not.
He even started the little timer video before 11 o'clock.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, anyways.
Testify is not.
I figured out what the problem was, guys. OBS was not liking me using the NVIDIA encoder. So we're all on CPU power, baby.
Great.
Which, God, please, for the love of God, don't fail me, Ryzen 7. Yeah.
Am I too quiet? Let's see. I can turn myself up a little bit.
Are you quiet? Is that
That's
an
what
issue?
He said.
Is that really a problem?
Well, somebody found it to be a problem.
They didn't say it was a problem. They were just commenting it. No one here except me knows what that means, Dean. Well, I'm glad you're here. Not really. Fuck you, Linga. No, I'm joking. No, thanks for showing up. Testify is unalive. Which one was he again?
The yellow triangle.
Yeah, he was
screamed and yelled a lot.
Yeah. You remember he yelled at that mentally disabled girl. Made her cry. Yeah.
Yep.
So was JDA was there. He laughed. Yeah.
He did laugh.
He did laugh.
He thought it was funny.
He did.
They all thought it was funny.
Yes. Yes, Vicky, we get it. Thought it was funny.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Finn wants to know if he gets a mention in today's report. Well, only if you really want one, Finn. I mean, I can always work it in.
But do you have to?
I don't have to.
Yeah.
But he seems to want it.
He does. But anyways, we've got a show for you guys tonight.
We always have a show.
It is always a show, but you know.
It might not be any good, but it's a show.
It is a show. So let's just do I get a mention in today's... Wait, I know Vicky just said that, but wait, why would you get a mention? I'm just curious. Did something happen?
I don't know.
Did I miss something?
No.
Okay.
You didn't miss anything.
All right, cool. Well, let's get started. The state of red-pilled GriftTube. Oh no, Vicky's gone. I don't know where Vicky is, actually. So, but once again, it's not really an issue, is it? Yeah. So anyways.
Yeah.
You know. Actually, I'm very confused on where Vicky's avatar is.
I'm quite confused as well, but I have no control, so...
Yeah.
I'm just here for the ride.
That's true. Okay, cool. Well, let's just go ahead and jump into... Actually, this is really going to bother me. This is like really, really going to bother me. Transform. Edit transform. Okay. I guess you're just gone forever, Vicky.
Yeah.
All right.
C'est la vie.
Yeah. Oh no. Who's really upset about it? Not me. Actually, I kind of am. We're going to find Vicky, guys. Vicky, in the meantime, why don't you entertain? Jesus Christ.
God. Entertain. I could read the chat, I suppose.
You could.
Yes.
Okay, well, there you are, Vicky. No need. Okay.
Yay, no need.
Yeah. All right, guys. So first, we're going to be talking about Nick Rikiada.
Yes.
Who was at a gay bar?
Yes.
Yeah.
In his underwear.
In his underwear.
Possibly his wife's underwear.
I would not be surprised.
I would not be surprised either.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So let's go ahead and jump into it.
What Lady Rackets? So Lady Rackets is taking me away for my birthday because I was going to stream tomorrow instead. She's taking me away. She's taking me to a she's taking me to a bar tomorrow, or wait, no, Saturday. She's taking me to a bar on Saturday that is it's an underwear bar.
Wow, right.
Yeah.
Where do you find this stuff? Out in the middle of nowhere.
So you're gonna be in underwear?
we're going
in
to
Minnesota.
The
I was
gonna say,
in
as well?
Minnesota.
So-
Seriously?
in
Yoderville?
yes, it's in the Twin Cities in Minnesota. You cannot get in if you're wearing clothes. You have to wear
Somalis-
underwear.
Do
So-
Somalis wear underwear?
What the? Oh my god!
So she's
But
in
isn't
underwear.
it-
I'm in underwear.
how-
We're gonna go have a fucking blast. That's Saturday. Friday is karaoke night at the same bar. We're gonna go do karaoke night. We're gonna have fucking fun. Probably sing some shitty songs or whatever. And then I don't know what we're gonna do the rest of the time because those are only. It's literally an hour out of each night that we're gonna do that. Other than that, I don't know. She's got a bunch of surprises planned for me, and we're gonna go and have fun. I have no idea. Last year, I think I sat in my office.
He is like really, really trying to push that they're gonna have fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You think she got him a stripogram?
Jesus.
Tomorrow
Look
is
at that,
my
my dad
actual
was here.
birthday. Lady Rackets has some
my mom,
appointments
though.
tomorrow,
Yeah.
and then I'm gonna drive her to the Twin Cities. We're gonna go do karaoke tomorrow. So the day after Saturday is when we're going to the underwear party, which will be great. And then I have no idea what the rest of the weekend holds, but we're gonna have a good time. And I want to point this out to the fucking internet because the internet is full of these. You get this weird combination of people. The combination of people who want freedom, right? But they forget that you can have fucking fun online. Like you can have fun in your life. Stop being fucking faggots. Stop being weak, pathetic people.
Okay. So yeah.
Go ahead.
I was just gonna say, these clips were provided by some very, very, very detective-like people on the farms. Very, very obsessive detectives.
They are very obsessive.
But luckily they are very obsessive.
So we didn't have to clip anything.
Yeah. So, Dean,
Which
why
is a
are you on
plus.
time today? I was not. I was late.
We were
I was late, damn it.
not.
But thank you.
But there's having fun in your life, and then there's sharing your degeneracy with the world on the internet.
Yes. And so they looked into it. I was late thinking you would be late. That was a good. I mean, it was a smart.
Yeah, a safe assumption.
Yeah,
It was a
safe assumption, except this time. You were later than me, is all. Dick is very disturbed and disgusted by what he's hearing. And I'm sure he's even more disgusted. So, if we look here, there's a tweet from a Twitter account called Gay 90s. And it's talking about, having an underwear party, on the same day in the same area that Nick's gonna be at on his birthday. And then, if we look here, they're also gonna be doing karaoke, I think.
The night before
Yeah.
the underwear party.
Like I said, these very obsessive detectives on the farms. Luckily,
They found so they found the bar.
Yeah?
Yeah. And then it gets even weirder.
Does it?
Did you? Yeah.
Oh,
The
the
Snapchat thing.
yeah, no, I didn't grab that just because it's like it's just a
It's really
voice. Yeah, it's very
here.
hard to hear.
But they found a public Snapchat of a woman doing karaoke at that bar that Friday night, and you can hear Nick Rikiada's voice in the background over the noise. So it's definitely the right bar.
Yeah.
It's like almost as obsessive as the guy that like pinpointed my location based on some pictures that I posted on Twitter.
Yeah.
Of all things.
You know, and this is
Yeah.
this is the state of red-pilled grift tube, guys.
Yes. Did you grab any of the other clips? I don't know.
No, that
Or
was it.
that it?
That was it.
So he did a local stream where he talked about going to the underwear bar. Apparently he was all hyped up on MDMA for his birthday, but it's okay because he's not doing it around his kids.
I mean, I have no problem, you know. You do
I
your
have
MDMA.
no problem with it
That's,
either. Yeah.
you know, I used
And,
to really enjoy MDMA.
and
so
about
I'm
the
not
gay
gonna-
guys that were hitting on him. And then he got all mad that people were calling him a degenerate, right?
That's so weird because the same guy, you know, like shames degeneracy, or used to. Now that his stuff's out, he's all like, oh yeah, no, you guys are being prudes. And it's like, Nick, like, you were literally like, you were one of those prudes. Like, you know, like your whole YouTube career up until now, you were one of those prudes, at least publicly.
He went on this really weird riff about how like kids should know that their parents, you know, like enjoy their sex life, and like how he wished he'd known if his parents even like had sex. And all I could think of was like, you know, when I was a teenager, when I was a small kid, I never thought about it at all. When I was a teenager, the idea of my parents having sex kind of grossed me out, even though I knew that they did. And now that and once I became a grown adult, I didn't want to know what my parents did in the bedroom.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're doing it through Discord. It's Dean's fault that my audio sucks.
No, it's definitely your fault. Amit Reina says drugs are illegal. Oh. Who would have guessed?
Amit.
Yeah, thank you, man. Twitter's Cancer says at Thomas Roylu, Poulter and Rikiada, it's the same picture. Dr. White says Nick's idea of fun is inserting it for the bull. Oh, poor Rikiada,
Yeah.
man. Poor Rikiada, who fucking deserves every bit of it. Really does.
Every bit of it.
Yeah.
But he's not mad. He's not mad at the spurgs on the internet at all.
Yeah.
Even though he continues to rage at them. Oh, and he did close down his Discord.
Yes, he did. That's right. Yeah, and then he spurged out at poor Spectre.
Poor Spectre got spurged at.
Yeah.
For those who don't know, Spectre likes to change people's names in Discord if he has any sort of power. And will just willy-nilly kick people from Discords. So I guess Nick was receiving calls from people who'd been kicked from the Discord wanting to know why, and then he'd have to fix it. And nobody would moderate his Discord because it's such a pain in the ass. Apparently these people, you know, the people that he has, I guess there's Patreons that get access to the Discord. Some of these are like horrible people. They like to post things like child porn and stuff like that in the Discord.
That's gross.
And yeah, so he had hired somebody to moderate his Discord, and even they were like, "You just can't pay me enough money, dude. You just can't."
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now Preston will finally have a lawyer he can relate to for his lawsuit. Did he?
can't be any worse than the strip mall lawyers.
Oh, wait, he did. He did. That's right. And then I invited you back, and I think I made you a mod. Pretty sure.
Who?
Thomas. Thomas said, didn't Spectre also change my name and kick me out of DA's Discord a year ago? And I'm pretty sure that did happen.
I'm pretty sure he did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's funny.
Yep.
Yeah. But I think that's about it for the degeneracy of Nick. You know, and once again, this is a guy who fucking deserves it. He really does.
You know, you can't go blasting people for being a degenerate on the internet, and then it
then be a
you become
degenerate.
a degenerate on the internet. Yeah.
Lunga says he did that to me all the time in Smugs. Yeah, in Smugs Discord.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's true.
Yeah.
You know, but it's also you, Lunga. So, like, I don't think anybody really cared. I cared when it was Thomas, you know, but I don't know, Lunga.
Yeah.
You kind of also have it coming. No, I'm joking. So now we're going to be talking about, I think this is a topic you're more versed in, but we're going to be talking about the Dave Williams and
Gabe El-Tayeb brouhaha.
Gabe El-Tayebitis.
Sorry.
Yeah, no,
Got
you
the
should
name
be.
wrong again.
You did. It's okay.
Yeah.
But yeah, their continued feud. And
Yes.
I guess the
Which
ripples
will
it has on
continue
Comicsgate.
forever,
Yeah.
apparently.
Forever.
Forever and ever and ever. So
Yeah.
what is this? I can't make this big enough to see what
That's
you're
fine.
showing.
You don't need to. I have the PowerPoint open.
Okay. All right. So, Truth, Justice, and the American Way. Gosh. So, as you'll notice here, David Williams is credited with the story in pencil, and Gabe is credited with the story, script, and colors. And then, of course, there's Gary. Everybody kind of forgets about Gary. He already got paid. Doesn't matter. He got his money. So, Gabe, this started 3 weeks ago, right? When PTP tweeted out at Gabe, quite upset because he'd backed the book based on Dave's art, and Dave was taken off of the book. Gabe says Dave quit. Dave says Gabe basically fired him. And so Gabe is now drawing the book, and oh goodness gracious, Gabe should be nowhere near a pencil. And so let's go ahead and we'll start the footers and we'll read it. So he starts off with, I didn't want to do this, but David Williams leaves me no choice since he's decided to have Smiller lie about me. David Williams ripped me and you, CG customers, off for thousands, insulted my dead son, breached our contract, and wrote me an email November 2nd quitting the book. Transparency is a must for you CG fans, since you have trusted me with so much of your hard-earned money and goodwill. I never miss deadlines, and I always deliver. First off, they didn't just trust Gabe with their money. This is a 50-50 partnership between Gabe and Dave. So when he uses so many loaded words, right? Designed to create this narrative and kind of like personal army CG against Dave Williams. It's a very weird, misplaced, gross Twitter thread.
Yeah, I mean, that becomes more apparent though, like further in the thread, for sure.
So then he goes on with, in fall 2021, David approached me with a concept. What if a trinity of heroes got replaced by evil heroes? I took that premise and created a plot, villain sidekicks, and side characters. David was impressed and wanted to move forward with the crowdfund. The files note the dates. Okay, so we note the dates, right? We look at those. They all take place in January, February, and March. The crowdfund opened in February, I believe. So yeah, because it was 2 months. So the script, you have a script there, January 24, plot notes in April, and then script notes on the 29th of January.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So some of this was done before the crowdfund opened. Some of it was done after the crowdfund opened. Then Gabe goes on with, so we signed a contract. In this contract, we both own the IP 50-50. David draws, I write, I color.
Mhm.
It is very important to note that David contractually agreed on January 24th that I am the sole writer. It says it there in black and white. Therefore, he is bound to honor that. So if we look at what that actually says, this little bit of the contract, it says services to be performed by each party. Mr. Williams agrees to illustrate the black and white line art for the comic based on a script written and provided by Mr. El Taib. Mr. El Taib agrees to author said script and deliver it to Mr. Williams electronically in a timely fashion to be discussed casually over phone and electronic communications. Mr. El Taib also agrees to digitally colorize the black and white line art provided by Mr. Williams and prepare it for CMYK physical printing. Now, what Gabe is overlooking here
Mm-hmm.
is this sentence. It says,
To be discussed
this part
casually.
of the sentence, to be discussed casually over the phone and electronic communication. To me, and I'm sure any lawyer for Mr. Williams would argue that that does not give Gabe the final say in the script. Now,
It definitely left it a little too wide open.
it does leave it very wide open. Now, there's a difference between writing the story and coming up with the story, which they're both doing together, and writing the script, right? If I go off and I decide to do a comic and I've got a story and I hire an artist after I hire a writer first because I'm not an idiot, right? Get a script, and that script comes back and it's not my story, I'd lose my mind. I mean, you can't just willy-nilly as a writer, as the script writer, just change an agreed upon story. And it feels like that's what Gabe has done, right? They agreed back in January to a plot and a story, and now they're having an issue with it, which we'll see as we get down here. David agreed to do one cover and 5 pages for the Indiegogo launch February 21. Instead, he did 3 covers and 1 page without conferring with me. I told him that wasn't enough. He disagreed. It was too late to change before the launch. Now you know why I only had 1 page to show at launch. Well, you had 3 covers, I think. So that's neither here nor there because it's really just not super, super important.
Yeah. Hey, why don't you hop back into StreamYards?
Okay.
All right.
All right.
Cool. Sorry, guys. I just had to give you a break from Vicky talking because it's a little rough.
You want me to hang up on Discord?
Yeah, yeah. You guys are all welcome for this. It's gonna be like, oh shit, here she is. Anyways.
Yeah. Now I have an echo.
Yes, you do.
Yes.
All right.
Indeed.
No, now you're good.
Yes. Much better. Okay. Sorry. Was that the The crackling getting too much.
It was. Okay, so.
Yeah. All right. So here's where we get to the money shit, right? Gabe says, I told Dave we should get cracking on more pages fast. He told me no. He was going to draw Bass Reeves number 5 first. I told him no. T-Jaw comes first. He said he needed the money. I offered him my own money to keep him drawing T-Jaw for you guys. I sent him $3,000 on February the 16th. By this point, the crowdfund had already made goal. It had surpassed goal, right? This $3,000 should have come out of Dave's profits, or to be profits that would have been sent the next month by Indiegogo. And so this should not be a big deal. Now, what he's making a big deal about is the Bass Reeves book. That both of them were on and Gabe quit. So fortunately, Betty will be coloring it, so the colors will be 100 times better than Gabe doing the book. But they were both on this book. So Gabe knew that there was a prior commitment to the Brightwisers. Whatever you think about the Brightwisers, Dave had a commitment that he was determined to fulfill, right? And there's nothing wrong with that. That's actually far more admirable than just quitting on your commitment, in my opinion. So Dave was very happy. I agreed to pay him the $3,000 to draw T-Jaw pages for you guys. We launched the book February 21st. I was thrilled you guys funded me. I wanted to deliver for you. T-Jaw page number 1 was created February 16. I called Dave the first week of March and asked how the pages were coming. This is where he goes on to talk about a book by Graham Nolan. Dave told me that he'd spent the $3,000, had drawn no new T-Jaw pages for you guys, and was working on Volsung for Graham Nolan. This never actually went to fruition. I guess he just did a couple pages, and that was it. I'm curious as hell as to how Gabe, I don't know if he was going to be coloring this book, had access to the working files for this book. I don't know. So I told Dave he could not do that, which he didn't end up doing anyway, and that my wife and I work hard for our money, and he agreed to take $3,000 from her and me to draw T-Jaw for UCG fans. This is a repeated theme. It's all about UCG fans, UCG backers. Rah CG, remind everybody who he is, right? Dave raged at me on the phone, claimed I was trying to, quote, control him and quit the book. Inker Gary Martin called Dave and begged so Dave would stay, and this is where I messed up. I capitulated to Dave's threat to quit after he just cheated me out of $3,000. We have all been hurt and abused by narcissists. It could be a parent, a coworker, a business partner, a romantic partner, anything really. They are charming and make you feel like you're on top of the world, but it's all lies to use you and please themselves. This is totally unnecessary. It's as far as an addition to this tweet thread. One, it just sounds creepy. And two, like, there's really no evidence here of any kind of narcissism on Dave's part. What I see is Gabe telling Dave what the fuck to do, right?
Yeah.
He's telling him he's got to quit his job with the Brightwisers. He's telling him he can't take on another job. It seems more like Gabe trying to control than Dave. Tragedy did strike in late March. Dave's wife is diagnosed with cancer. David calls me sobbing. I am sobbing, telling him we'll pray it'll be okay. I forgive the $3,000 he stole from me on the spot. I figure the man's life is in shambles, so letting it go would help his mood. He says, I tell Dave to forget about T-Jaw for now and focus on his wife, and I'll get in touch with Jim McLaughlin at the Hero Initiative and see if they can get Dave money to live on. I blacked out the details of Dave's wife's sickness for privacy. He's already revealed she has cancer. Now, remember, there's the crowd fund. We have a successful crowd fund here, right? So, because this is April 11th, the book is already funded, and Dave still gets 50%. So him calling it stealing is literally just to trigger people.
Yeah.
So he writes his email to Jim, and he says, my good friend, comics veteran Dave Williams and his family are in a desperate need of help. His lovely wife, Sandra, recently had cancer surgery, backed out. I'll get right to the point. They need financial assistance. Dave can't work right now. And he's heartbroken, and his whole family feels depressed. So he's asking this guy, Jim, at Heroes Initiative about, helping him out, which is great. And this whole part of the tweet thread is incredibly self-serving. So this guy James gets back, and he says he literally doesn't answer Gabe at all. But this is Gabe getting him help. The guy literally just blows him off, shows him a YouTube video that I didn't track down because fuck it. And it's been a while, but we got help for so and so. Like, that's it. Then Dave goes on to talk about the fundraiser he does at San Diego Comic-Con every year, which benefits the Hero Initiative. But there's absolutely no mention anywhere of whether or not the Hero Initiative decided to help out Dave Williams.
Yeah.
Absolutely none. Right? This is just Gabe trying to show that he's such a great guy. And good on him for trying to get him help, but obviously he didn't try, it went as far as an email that got no response. But he's adding it into his little thread, which is endless, by the way. On March 16th, after forgiving Dave the $3,000 he stole, he calls me upset and asks for money to take his wife out to eat somewhere fancy. My heart melts for them. I say to myself, she could die. How many more meals will they have together? And I send him $300 and tell him not to pay me back.
Well, I mean, why isn't he getting paid out of, like, the money that they crowdfunded?
Right. Yeah. March 17th, I talk with my wife, and we agree to give Dave $2,500 to help the Williams family, but he has to pay me back with the T-Jaw profits. I also give him another $100 on April 12th for a reason I don't recall. May 2022, David is drawing Bass Reeves 5, even though I want him drawing T-Jaw. There is a segment of the story where Bass hallucinates that his wife is rotting away, dying in front of his eyes. Dave told me with his wife's sickness, he was putting art on hold. That art on hold. It was too tough to illustrate. I told him I understood how terrible that would be. He said he'd draw it later. I don't know. Maybe he drew another portion of the book. I don't know. But this, of course, is the book that he's not supposed to be drawing because Gabe told him to quit. So summer, they finally start talking again. The book is due in October. Nothing. There's been no progress on it. Seems like Dave just quit drawing altogether because he was busy taking care of his wife. We start talking about T-Jaw script again. We'd been arguing about a plot point for months. In the contract, it states I am the writer, not Dave. He wants to have the children's sidekicks die in the first act. I tell him that is morbid and unacceptable. I won't write dead kids. Dave insists that the kids will die. I assert that contractually I am the writer. Mike Barron reviewed my plot. He says it's great. I tell Dave we told the public we were going to make uplifting classic superhero action. Killing children is disgusting. I finally tell Dave I won't write dead kids because my son, Michael El Taib, died in my arms December 6, 2006. So just like you don't want to draw dying wives, I will not write about dead children. He tells me to use the pain from my writing. My wife was so hurt when I told her this. Okay. I'm not going to touch on dead kid thing because that's just horrible. But this is sort of where Gabe flashes his ass a little bit, right? So they agreed on a plot. They agreed on a story. And obviously, I mean, Gabe can correct me if I'm wrong. Dave can correct me if I'm wrong. But these dead sidekicks were the original plot that was agreed upon, right? And this is Gabe changing it. He's come up with a whole new plot, which isn't his job, solely his job. He and Dave are supposed to agree on a plot. And he tosses Mike Barron in there because, rah, rah, great, great Mike Barron.
Comicsgate.
Yeah, he's trying to validate how correct he feels his decision is by invoking Mike Barron here. But it's not his plot to change. It's their plot to change. So, it seems to me that that's what the issue is Gabe changing the story of the book and Dave saying no.
Yeah. Morg says the old "you made my wife cry" maneuver. That's an old EVS move.
That's another one. Yeah. Yes. And then he posts pictures of his dead kids' hands.
This was kind of disgusting.
This was kind of gross and disgusting.
Sleazy.
And sleazy as fuck.
There's literally no reason to do this other than to appeal to emotion, which is,
Which is, well, I mean, it's what he's been trying to do the whole time, right? He's using these very emotive words.
Oh, yeah.
He's stealing from you, he's ripping you off.
Dead babies.
Now he's killing children. Right. I'm not going to read those tweets because I found it too disturbing and gross.
Here, I'll read it.
Okay.
Michael Gabriel El Taib may have only lived for 2.5 hours, but he was real to us, and he matters. Dave was vicious to me and my wife about this. I told him how much it hurt us, and he did not care at all. Here are my son Michael's hands, a drawing I made and put in his casket, the program I made for the funeral, and our grave, where my wife and I will lay with him one day. Dave insisted these kids would die no matter how much it hurt and disturbed my wife and I. What a piece of shit.
Right. We're talking about fictional characters in a book. And they're not, and I doubt, as sidekicks to superheroes, that they're small children.
Yeah.
Right. No
This
offense.
is an appeal to emotion in the most disgusting way possible.
In the most disgusting way.
And it's clearly it's clearly designed specifically for that.
Yeah.
And anybody
no
that says it's not
you
is
can
probably Comicsgate.
He mentioned it in the previous tweet that he'd had, that his child had died. There was no need to go on with the next two, and especially not a need to post a picture of his dead child's hands without trying to just completely be manipulative.
Yeah. This does come off very Tug-like.
It does.
Yeah.
It does. But it's very Comicsgate too. So Gabe we'll move along. Gabe does half of Bass Reeves in 2021, and the Brightwisers had a stop in November. Dave got back to work in May 2022. He shunned T-Jaw for Bass Reeves 5. I told him this was wrong, and CG backers come first. He always threatened to quit when I tried to make him do the right thing. Well, no, his prior commitment to the Brightwisers comes first, the one Gabe knew about. I mean, like, you know, there's no we just stop working for the people we've promised to do work for because we have something we want to do for ourselves. That's just fucked up.
I mean, really, they probably shouldn't have started the crowdfund altogether. I mean,
Yeah,
if we're being
yeah.
honest.
I do. Yeah, they should have waited to start the crowdfund.
Yeah.
But when he says the CG backers come first in regards to a book by the Brightwisers, it did make me giggle, I will say. No. Dave finally draws more T-Jaw at the end of July. That's over 5 months between pages 1 and 2. And he found time to work on Bass Reeves, but not for you. Look at the dates of the inks. He's also getting close to the pages where he's going to kill the kids' sidekicks. Oh, no. By the time this all fell apart, David had already done 13 pages. I don't know if the dead sidekicks are included in that, but I guess not. They were still fighting about it.
I just don't understand how you're gonna like compare dead sidekicks to like dead infant,
A dead baby.
like
Yeah.
dead comic book character sidekicks to dead infant.
And apparently they're like the major mover of the plot. Like
Sounds
they're
like it, yeah.
what happens to these kids actually causes, it's like the catalyst for what happens in the rest of the book.
Yeah.
So by changing that, he's literally changed the entire book. Right?
Yeah.
In August, he transferred Dave $15,000 via bank wire, and I get him $1,000 cash since the wire will take a week. I put whatever. He sent him another $1,000. So in July, he sent him $17,000 of your money from the Comicsgate Indiegogo.
Well, I mean, technically, it's no longer your money.
Your
pay.
money. It stopped being backer money the minute they hit okay and backed the Indiegogo.
Yeah.
Right.
Like this
As
is
soon
all
as-
very, very designed in order to piss off the Comicsgate people.
Yeah.
Your money. He's killing
Your money.
children. Look,
Yeah.
my dead baby's hands. Like, what the fuck, dude?
Yeah, Mike Barron.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Mike Barron.
it's all
He said it
there.
was great. Yeah, Mike Barron's also old as dirt.
I called Dave a few days later. I proposed to Dave to pay him $1,000 every time inker Gary Martin receives 5 pages of pencils, and that will help him make the budget. He screams at me, tells me not to talk to him again. He emails me a few days later to tell me that he'll be done in January. Okay.
This
So
is,
the
by
book
the
will-
way, the only time that he ever shows a receipt of, like, Dave Williams up to this point.
Up to this
There's
point.
a lot of claims of things Dave Williams says.
Right, but this is the
But
first
this
time
is like,
he shows
and
a
it's like,
receipt.
just like the, like,
Literally just, I will be done by the end of January.
oh, I'm so glad you showed the receipts for this one.
Gabe says, so I guess he's going to kill off those kids and draw whatever he likes, legally breaching our contract as I am the writer.
Yeah.
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 We've already covered that shit. Then he says, I realize I have been duped. Dave has threatened to quit multiple times throughout the entire project if he did not get his way, and it had me trapped. I kept giving in. That was weak of me. I realize he's never gonna finish the book. Well, he said he'd have it done in January. Right? As a Hail Mary, I tuned up the plot and sent it to him via email. Maybe if we don't talk, he'll just draw my story, as he is contractually obligated to do. But he's not contractually obligated to draw Gabe's story. He's contractually obligated to draw their story, which obviously Gabe has changed.
Yeah.
Right? And I anyway, so I was wrong in a rage since I won't give him more of your money. And notice
Your
we
money
never
in
we never
caps.
see any
Your.
actual receipt of David ever asking for money. Like, he never did it written. If he did it over the phone. But there's no proof that after, he's pissed about the storyline and he says he'll have it done in January, that he's demanding more money. So he can keep drawing for the Brightwisers, and I won't let him kill kids. David
I
quits.
won't let him kill kids.
I won't let
Jesus
him kill
Christ.
kids. Yes,
Jesus
taking
Christ.
his
I
own
won't let him
hand and
kill
literally
kids.
stabbing them to death. Yes.
Jesus,
yeah.
it's comic book sidekicks. Like, dude, come on, bro.
Yeah.
Not killing kids. Like, what the fuck? Like, this is clearly designed. Like just to upset people.
Just to upset people.
And the Comicsgate audience is so dumb.
Oh,
that
we'll
they'll
get to that.
We'll
get to the audience.
Yeah.
Yeah. He quit on me and on CG. In my opinion, he does not care about customers. So here's our two emails.
He doesn't care
right?
about you guys now.
He doesn't care about you guys at all. Not at all. So Gabe emails David, here is the plot as it will be drawn. The sidekicks do not die as they are a big part of the story. The story does have a definite ending with a small hint at a possible volume 2 on the last page. And then Dave answers, here is the plot as it will be drawn. Oh, really? Is that right? So I guess you're taking over the art chores? Cool. I'll draw up to page 16 and you can take it over from there. Sidekicks do not die, LOL. Yank the heart out of the story, oh well. Have fun, Mr. Quarterback. By the way, I can't open your file. No need to anyway. Now, all the pushback that I've seen from Dave seems to come when Gabe tells him what to do. When Gabe tells him to quit working for Mitch, when Gabe suddenly demands that it's his story to do with as he sees fit, when Dave doesn't feel that way at all. He's the one that approached Gabe with a concept and a story to begin with. So that's where we are now. Dave scammed me and CG out of tons of money. I am drawing the book myself because I know Dave won't deliver. He'll just keep spending and not drawing T-Jaw and just draw more Bass Reeves. I'm embarrassed that I sent nearly $24,000 his way for 9 inks. I apologize to every last CG fan and backer for letting Dave rip us off. I will do my absolute best to get you a wonderful book. Here we go again with Mike Barron loves my script, and I'm drawing day and night to bring it to you.
Yeah, Mike Barron's also old as dirt. He also loved, when Sody Pop was 10 cents, and falling asleep in his favorite grandpa chair in his knickers. So,
Knickers?
yeah, there's, yeah.
Right. Okay. So here we go from $24,000 to, don't worry, Dave only got his hands on $17,000. I still have over $88,000, and that is more than enough to get you the book. I already bought the trading cards, the stickers, the mailers, and paid Gary Martin for inks. I still wonder how someone burns through $16,000 in like 4 to 5 weeks. Well, apparently he had to buy a new car.
Well, not only that, like cancer treatments are like pretty expensive. Like
Co-pays, yeah,
it's like pretty. It's
right.
pretty easy to see
Pretty
where like money
easy.
could go when your wife's like uh
Yeah,
like
yeah.
to even question this is kind of
Is
retarded. It's
and it's even more repulsive to just to question it publicly, right?
yeah.
I won't work with David again. I cannot trust him, but as a Christian, I forgive David.
Well, first of
That's
all,
so
David was like stupid as fuck for like getting into business with Gabe. Like I'm
Gabe.
gonna just be honest. Like I don't know this Dave guy, but it was really dumb of you. This is Gabe, the guy that like backstabbed all of his coworkers and got a bunch of them fired because
But-
he wanted to gossip to Ethan.
About
Like
gay
like
Superman.
how dumb do you have to be, Dave? Come on, bro.
Sorry, Dave. What he's done is terrible. And pray for me, pray for Dave. Back the book. I like how he shoved that one there at the end of the thread. Go and back my book. T-Jaw is going to be one of CG's best. I won't quit until you get your beautiful book. I made a promise. Who can reply? Absolutely nobody. Now, I did some dirty math on this project, and this book should net about $60,000 in profit for both Gabe and Dave, which would get split right down the middle because they own 50% of the IP. Now, Gabe could buy Dave out. Dave could buy Gabe out, though I doubt he's interested in that, and it doesn't sound like he has the financial wherewithal to do it, especially with Gabe holding all of the Indiegogo cash.
Yeah.
Right. They've both lawyered up. Apparently, Gabe lawyered up the day after that last email and started drawing the book himself, which triggered the update to the Indiegogo, which triggered PTP's tweet, which triggered Ethan to tell people to shut up and not talk about it, which sent Smiller off because nobody was talking about it. And he and Dave have been friends for 30 years. Which is why it didn't stop. Which is why at the very beginning of the tweet thread, Gabe blamed David and Mike S. Miller.
Yes.
So this is a letter that Dave sent to Gabe on November 21st, which was right after their last email exchange. Hello, Gabe. This notice comes in response to the notice I received from your lawyer. As your equal co-partner on Truth, Justice, American Way book and campaign, I require some clarity regarding our work together on this project. When initially receiving the letter, I was unclear on the reason. When ideation for this process began, and I just have to throw in here that JDA didn't know what ideation meant, and I thought it was funny as fuck. There was no legal entity present. I would like to focus the majority of this message to you directly, though if you are adamant about us having legal representation, I am willing to negotiate for that. I believe that it will be more advantageous for us to have a shared understanding both as individuals and as partners. We need to negotiate the terms of the contract and what, if any, amendments need to be made going forward. Additionally, it is imperative that a third-party accountant be present for our conversations and work moving forward. The financial security of this project is crucial, and having your wife serve in this needed role is a conflict of interest. Lastly, a third-party editor for this book will ensure efficient timing and quality control to which we mutually agree on. I will be transparent. When this process started, I expected to be working with a collaborator that provided insight and creative support to build out and design a story in a partnership akin to Stan Lee and Jack Kirby. In the time since we have begun working together, I have been met with inconsistencies in workflow and abrupt changes to this artistic process. I have found there to be a breach of trust, and as a result, that has been compromised. Seeing as this is a partnership, I will deliver from my side of the agreement and hold you to the same standard from your side. There has been little grace extended to the flow of our work thus far, and as it stands now, I see very little space for us in doing this together. Moreover, the desire to impose legal action towards me has been abrasive and requires a reassessment of our partnership. Please review this message, and if you're interested in having a more in-depth conversation and reaching a new deal as partners, please give me a call. Apparently, Dave has sent this to Gabe numerous times, and Gabe has not responded.
Hmm.
I mean, a simple, I'm not going to respond, talk to my lawyer, have your lawyer call my lawyer would be okay. But, yeah, Gabe hasn't done that.
No.
And then he also released a video where he says, David does, to our T-Jaw supporters, friends, and art family, there are two sides to every story, and for legal reasons, I will only briefly address the recent attempts to weaponize, monetize, and use my grief, misfortune, and personal crisis as a shield and smokescreen to gain sympathy and support for something that should have been handled privately. The sanctimonious, manipulative, and selective Twitter dump dropped by Mr. El Taib engages in character assassination. He has faultlessly accused me and slandered me and put out a false narrative of this project and my willingness to complete the books. In an attempt to save face with Comicsgate first and then our supporters, the info he decided to post was one-sided in a seeming attempt to sway the court of public opinion, chest thumping, and virtue signaling. As for his, quote, receipts of cropped out screenshots taken out of context and additional references to distortions of phone conversations that were had, hearsay presented as facts. Trying to portray me as a liar and a thief who had no plans of finishing the book, this narrative is a complete lie and an attack on my family, livelihood, and career. He was sent a letter multiple times, that's the one we just read, giving him the chance to come back to the table, and he chose to ignore it, choosing to continue to juxtapose my wife's illness and my so-called departure from the book to prop himself up and misrepresent the situation to the backers. I am not a liar or a thief, and certainly not a baby killer, as Mr. El Taib would have you believe. As a father of 3 and devoted grandfather, I would never speak ill or in a vile way about anyone's loss of a child, as was claimed in his heinous accusation. I cannot steal what is mine, and making assumptions of what I was going to do in the future was absurd and wrong. He does not fully own T-Jaw and never has been my boss, making it appear to the public and our backers that he can go on and finish the book without me is a great misrepresentation. Bottom line, we own this property 50-50. I have no desire to have an unprofessional back and forth online battle with Mr. El Taib, and will handle my end of it as privately as possible. I didn't tell you, I did reach out to Dave with a couple of questions, and he just referred me straight back to the video that he posted on Twitter and Instagram, which these screenshots are from. So he literally is not talking to anybody except probably
Or maybe he's
Sniller.
not talking to you because, you know, who
I
would?
was so sweet and nice.
Sure.
I was.
Uh-huh.
And the thing is like, you know, like I said, there's 2 choices. They can either refund the entire Indiegogo, which since there's 88,000 of the 130,000 left, would be kind of difficult. Or three solutions. 2, somebody could buy the other out, or 3, Dave can take the stick out of his ass, Gabe can take the stick out of his ass, write the script of the story that they agreed upon back in January, and Dave will draw it.
Yeah.
So, Ethan apparently. Oh, look, there's Finatra. Just kidding. Ethan showed this DM that he sent to Gabe on a stream. It says, I guess it was a DM group that he started between the two of them. Hey, fellas, I'm sending this recommendation that you both work out your issues with each other and finish T-Jaw up as promised to the original in the original campaign. Well, yeah, they kind of have to, because if Gabe ends up drawing the book after they got $130 in backing, based on David drawing the book, it is now fraud, and it's no longer the Indiegogo that people backed, and they'd probably have to give all the money back anyway. People will be curious about what happened in this situation. They will ask questions, and it isn't going to be a good outcome for anyone. There is over $100,000 of backers' money invested in a book written by Gabe and David and colored by Gabe and drawn by David. That's a promise you made to them. I'm sure this is a creative dispute that can be compromised on for the sake of this project, and then maybe you can reevaluate your partnership later. Thanks for reading. And that was sent by Ethan on December 1st with no response. So I wouldn't expect a response. Maybe Ethan, despite the I'm going to be neutral, I'm staying out of this, I'm not picking a side, was hoping to sort of mediate something. I don't know. But that little bit of trivia right there. But there's Finn.
Yeah.
So you see him sitting there?
Do.
Okay.
And he
That's
says,
That's
damn
like,
it, in the chat.
Damn it. Damn
That's
it.
funny.
Damn it.
Yeah. Sorry, what were you going to say?
Nothing.
Thank God. Finally,
Thank
right,
God
guys?
that's over. That was like the longest.
Oh, Jesus,
Twitter
Vicky, you're
thread.
ruining it already.
Sorry.
Jesus Christ.
I can't help it.
No, you really can't.
It was so manipulative.
It really was, and disgusting. A lot like Dave's appearance. I mean, Gabe's appearance. It was gross and disgusting.
Gross and disgusting.
Just like his tactics of manipulation.
Yeah.
Yeah. I guess his actions reflect his outward appearance.
Or maybe it's the other way around. Which makes more sense.
No, I think it was exactly how I said it was.
Play that Ethan clip for me.
I'm doing it for the audience.
Yeah.
Which Vicky tried to steal from you guys, audience.
You know, from Gabe's perspective, and we'll look at what Mitch has to say about this because Mitch tweeted about it. From Gabe's perspective, this book is the book that I'm on. That's the first thing. Second thing, this book, the book that I'm on, and the book that I've been out there promoting like a motherfucker for you is at $120,000. Bass Reeves is not even at $20,000. The fans have spoken. You need to be working on Truth, Justice, American Way with me. You need to prioritize that because it's just a matter of money. Just from a business sense, you would prioritize the book that raised 6 figures over the book that barely raised 5. It's a business decision. So is it reasonable for Gabe to expect that? Yes. Is that who David is? No. David apparently is not that guy. David is not somebody who puts business first. Gabe is someone who puts a business first. David is somebody who puts relationships and friendships and promises first, promises to his friends. So David is somebody who said, I made a promise to the Brightwisers. I'm going to finish Bass Reeves no matter what, even if I don't make any money. And, you know, and then, by the way, can I have some of the money from Truth Justice because we need a car? And you understand, like, both guys are polar opposite individuals who should not be working together. They just shouldn't because they do not share common goals. They don't, and they don't have the same philosophy, anything like that. So I think that's clear.
I think because Dave actually sounds like a nice human being, while Gabe El Taib's just a big giant piece of shit
with diabetes.
Seriously, my crowdfund made more money, so you shouldn't be working on that other guy's stuff until you're
That
done
you
with
promised to.
mine. Right? Is
Hmm.
that just the biggest load of shit? You
Yeah.
know? I mean, would especially when Gabe. The thing is that's exactly what Gabe did, right? Gabe quit the Bass Reeves book because he's got money rolling in. I guess he's doing another book for Eric July, maybe the next two, right? So he's got this money rolling in from Eric July. He's got the money from this crowd fund, and he doesn't need to work on that piddly little teeny book for Mitch Breitweiser anymore.
Mhm.
You know,
Yeah.
it's just like all he had to do is finish that one book that he committed to, move on. But no, he couldn't even do that.
No, he could
You
not.
know, so
Yeah, let's watch this next clip.
Way, Mike has just been going off all day long on Twitter, causing trouble. I don't know why. I really don't. It really upsets the fans. I said one thing to him that I really at one point I kind of warned him because he should be warned about this. I mean, he's no longer independent. We can talk all the shit we want, you and me, because we're only accountable to ourselves and the fans.
Yep.
Right. So as long as the fans are cool with us, then we're cool. You know, we just have to mean what we say, et cetera, et cetera.
We don't work for anybody.
That's it. We just work for our customers. We work for our backers. That's all. Okay. Mike works for people. Okay, Mike.
Yeah, a couple people.
So here's Mike, who is working for Shadiversity. Now I want you to look at this circle that Mike is entwined in here, and I'm not going to cause any trouble, but I could. Mike is working for Shadiversity, who's connected to the Friday Night Tights crew. He's in there, right? And he is working really hard to tear down the colorist and friend of Eric July over at Rippaverse. Now, isn't that interesting? Yeah. Now, if I were Eric July, and I found out Eric's not paying attention to this, but if he found out about this and he said, he might say, Shadiversity, why is your artist working so hard to hurt my colorist, which in turn hurts my business? Could you tell him to knock it the fuck off? And then there might be bad feelings that extend all the way out. And we know the Friday Night Tights guys, well, they're sensitive fellows. There might be a problem that might grow there because of Mike. I'm not saying that Mike ever causes problems in communities, but it's something to think about. If I were Mike, I'd consider that. Wouldn't you?
Yeah, like I wonder how Mike would react if pressure was put on him from above.
Wow. SJW behavior.
That is their idea of staying completely neutral. They have decided that all of the blame for this entire situation lies with Smiller, because Smiller was pissed off that his friend, who's had a shit fuck of a year, is being mistreated, in his opinion, by Gabe El-Taib. So what do? Oh man, wouldn't it be a shame if I'm not gonna do it, but it could happen if people started putting pressure on Shad. And what if they start a big old beef with Eric? Give me a fucking break.
Yeah, in other words, hey guys, go complain
guys,
and make a fuss.
exactly.
And get Eric July to notice. And it's like,
Yeah,
Ethan,
that's exactly
you
what they
fucking
were doing.
fat, flabby woman.
Well, they have to, because you know what's going on? If you watch Ethan's stream, well, there's the one that got by the copyright gods, or the last one, the chat fucking hates Gabe El-Taib. He's getting more shit in the chat than anybody I've seen in a long time outside of Vito. that time he had Vito on, right? They are going hard at Gabe in the chat of Ethan's streams. And it was so bad that Gabe brought out his new baby granddaughter. See, I'm a nice guy. Look, everybody, here's the new baby. But so they've decided they have to attempt to refocus all of that energy at Mike S. Miller because he's not very well liked in Comicsgate. Anyway, blame Smiller. Make sure to go complain to Shad. Make sure to bring it to Eric July's attention. You know, because Eric July couldn't just take one look at the situation and go, damn, my colorist is acting like an asshole. Maybe I should get a new one. That possibility never occurred to any of these people, right? Like, that's what I'd be like, this is just not worth my fucking trouble when there are plenty of good colorists out there.
Yeah.
Right?
That's true.
So maybe they should think about that before they go trying to get people to create some sort of, you know, big conflict between Shad and Eric July because Mike Miller's sticking up for a friend.
Yeah.
Who's getting screwed.
Finatra says, someone from my chat told me to off myself because I criticized Gabe's tweet. That was saddening. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm sorry I'm laughing.
Sorry. Nah, fuck that shit. Gabe deserves to be criticized for those tweets.
Yeah, it was disgusting.
It was that whole Twitter thread was just gross.
As gross as his appearance.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know?
As gross as watching him eat. As gross as his, I assume, daily nights at Hometown Buffet.
I just can't. This is a guy who did an interview with Babylon Bee, claiming that he's the reason Lucasfilm got bought out by Disney. Complete and total bullshit lie, because it happened like the comic came out a year after Disney had already bought Lucasfilm. But I mean, the ego on this guy, right? I ruined DC's launch of that comic book, and I'm just sad I didn't do a better job at it.
Yeah.
Right? This is Ethan was telling this story that, well, you know, when Gabe first showed up here and after the first stream I had him on, I had issue with him. So the first stream he had him on was one with Vito.
Gross.
Where Ethan brings Vito on.
Which one's gross? Which one's grosser?
Which grosser?
Vito.
Vito
or Gabe's appearance, you know, or Vito's appearance.
Vito's grosser than Gabe, unfortunately. I mean, it's close, but Vito's grosser than Gabe.
But not by much.
Not by much.
Yeah.
And I guess Gabe contacted Ethan and started telling him who he should and should not have on his own streams. It was like totally telling Ethan how to run his show. So imagine the first time he comes on a stream with Ethan, the guy who's like giving him the path to making money in Comicsgate, and he starts telling him how to run his YouTube channel.
Oh, he pulled a Testify.
He pulled a fucking Testify.
Mm.
Yeah. And you think the ego on that guy is not enough, that he's not demanding the just complete and total obedience from Dave Williams?
Yeah.
Does anybody believe that? Look at the guy. Look at the way he acts. Look at the way he talks. There's no way that he hasn't, that even though he may have given him some time off while his wife was ill, that he's not trying to browbeat him into drawing the story that Gabe wants told and not him.
Thomas Royloop says, wish he would pull a more recent Testify.
But it's funny though.
Oh, nice correlation. Thank you.
Yeah.
That was. Ooh. Yeah. So what have we learned today, Vicky? Nothing.
Absolutely
nothing.
nothing. Oh, this morning I learned that the 5 pounds I was very excited to have gained means that I can't fit into most of my pants now.
Okay, Vicky, I meant from the topics on stream.
Oh, we never learn anything from our topics on stream. That's not the point.
Yeah, that is not the point. Did you guys learn anything, chat?
No.
DED, my good friend, says Prawn Delarose.
You have really bad taste in friends.
Oi, ninjas.
Hello, Risey.
Yeah, CG's rep is hurting them now. I think that is why they are all about drama. It is the only way they can get people talking about their projects.
Well, that's part of it.
Yeah.
That's a large part of it. But CG, since Ethan showed up, has always been about drama. So it's not like this isn't a new move in a brand new direction.
Yeah. This isn't, the totally
it is
not grifty Iron Age or anything.
Yeah. This is just more of their time is spent on drama. I mean, Jesus Christ, fucking, you have people on stream, not to name names, fucking going over Twitter threads because some war campaign troll account shows up.
Yes.
And streaming about it for hours. A war campaign Twitter troll.
Yeah, that seems like a nothing burger.
Yeah. Right?
Luster Dog says, lesson, contracts don't automatically mean things will work out.
No, they do not, unfortunately.
Yeah.
But you should still probably have one anyway.
Lunga says, I never learn anything here. I am just bored and listen while I make D&D maps.
I think Morg does the exact same thing, Lunga, so it's okay.
Yeah. I'm going to ignore the shilling from Hargrave. No, we'll read it. That you should avoid all this and buy immortal masks. Screw CGBS. Twitter is cancer says, without Indiegogo providing cover, and with the aw shucks lawyer, Rikiada exposed as a disgraceful cuck, CG has no normie cover at all anymore.
No.
And Thomas Royloop says, Comicsgate was always about drama since Ethan Van Sciver, because he has borderline personality disorder, like a woman.
Thanks, Thomas.
And rapid cycling bipolar disorder, like a woman. And
Thanks,
he is
Dean.
wildly mentally ill. Like a woman.
Yeah.
Morg says, the drama used to be better, though, but the comics were never good.
That is true. There has been a decrease in the quality of the drama up until this Gabe thing. This has been quite exciting and fun. This is the best drama Comicsgate scene since the Thought Wars, honestly.
Except nobody's talking about it.
Except nobody's been talking about it.
Except Mike
until
S.
this
Miller.
week. Well, Ethan is holding his finger up to the breeze to see which way the wind is blowing. He doesn't seem to want. So, for the moment, he kind of needs Gabe, right? Gabe's his conduit to Eric July. We'll see how long that lasts. If Comicsgate bucks up enough against Gabe, then he'll drop him like a hot potato. But for now, that's his, Gabe is his link to Eric July, and Eric July made some sweet cash on his last not crowdfund.
Yeah. Let's see. I believe it was, Kaiser Crimson said, I learned that Testify is deader than EVS's hairline. Not sure what that has to do with comics, though. All right.
Well, it's Comicsgate. Nothing has to do with comics.
Testy Die Day 2023 is fast approaching, by the way. That is my favorite holiday. Bicky Bogan says, I learned from Dean that Gabe likes pig grease on toast eaten by the pound. That is true. I just saw one of Rikiada's fans do a video yesterday talking about how they want nothing to do with him anymore and regret having any interaction with him, says Thomas Royloop. Sad.
Bottles and butt cheeks will do that for some people, Thomas.
They, them, Jeffrey Brown says, Comicsgate is basically QAnon.
Almost. You see, it's funny, too, if you go to, like, Gabe's Twitter, it's all, like, retweets of fucking Sargon.
Yeah.
Sargon. It's like Sargon and Fox News and all, like, those far-right dipshits.
I mean,
It's lots of far-right dipshits.
yeah. I mean, I don't know. I wouldn't say Fox News is far right, but it's definitely not interesting or informative.
Yeah. I think very few news outlets are interesting or informative.
Yeah, exactly. I wouldn't say they're far right. They're probably about as, regular right.
Well, I wasn't quite just saying that Fox News was far right, but
Okay.
it's all the like far right pundity people on Twitter.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I get you. Except QAnon was popular. That's funny. That is true.
That's true.
That is true. Sadly.
Yes, and there are some QAnon sprinkled around CG.
There are. Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. Look at we had Edwin Boyette there for another hot minute, and before he destroyed the Hawaii Republican Party.
That is funny. Yeah. That is great. Trust the plan. You might get what you paid for, baby. All right.
If you're lucky, you'll get what you paid for.
Yeah. And if you're lucky, Vicky, I'm not going to beat you over the head for continuously interrupting me.
I will always.
You're not
interrupt
lucky,
you.
Vicky, unfortunately.
Yes,
and
I
that's
am.
going to
I'm
be it for this one,
3,000 miles
guys.
away.
Vicky will not be joining us next show. She probably won't be joining anybody
Dean probably
ever
wouldn't even be able
again
to get
except
the
for
OBS
Testify.
working
Shut up,
next
Vicky.
week.
You're going to be joining Testify soon. Anyways, thank you all so much for showing up.
Have a
Except
nice
Vicky.
night.
Jesus Christ, Vicky.
Have a nice night, everybody.
See, there you go. It was quiet, and then you could talk. Did you like how that worked, Vicky? Huh?
Have a Merry Christmas.
Fuck off. Talking to you, chat. Fuck off. And has anyone listened to the depressed ramblings of Cider Hype? The fact that anybody's listening to Cider Hype probably means that they're depressed.
God.
I mean,
Yeah,
and
I don't
probably
tend-
close to offing themselves. Except for
I do try to
Puma
stay
Fist.
away from Cindy Hyper's ramblings.
Yeah, except for Puma Fist, he should call himself Thul Fist, probably. Okay. What was this? I saw somebody said that they referred to Puma Fist as Puma Fist. Puma, the age of consent is 12 Fist. Was that like an actual quote?
What did we actually miss?
Yeah, what was that about? That was at the beginning of the stream.
Yeah. I had not been paying enough attention.
Yeah, was that like
I
a
know-
real thing?
I don't know.
I'm just asking because like I don't want to like accuse. I don't want to I need to know if it's true or not. But it's that was for Dean, not you, Vicky. I don't know what you're talking about. Puma's
not sure
in
either.
with JDA these days, pretty hard. Puma rapist. Jesus Christ! Come on, guys. I'm just
guess
like
so.
I'm seriously asking. I have no problems with Puma Fist.
Unless he likes to diddle 12-year-old.
Well, I don't even want to suggest that that's a thing. That's why I'm trying to ask. Like, what was that about?
Yeah, somebody's going to have to fill me in on the context. 'Cause-
Yeah, because like I have no
Yeah.
problem with him. We disagree pretty much on everything, but I don't dislike the guy at all.
I think it was just because he was defending that guy who was beating off in front of girls, so it's probably not really anything. Oh, the Andy Signor
Yeah.
thing?
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Well, that wasn't anybody underage, so
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
But I'd like, there's so many streams I just don't bother watching.
Yeah, and he seems to go to just about every stream.
All the
so.
ones that I don't bother watching. Except for Finn's. Like, I'll catch Finn's when it's, a day I'm not working.
Yeah. I just wanted to see what that was about, because, yeah.
Yeah.
Anyways, thank you all so much for showing up, and we will see you next time. Same place.
Merry Christmas.
Same time,
everybody.
but, a little late. So, just fucking deal with it. Stop complaining about it. It's gonna happen. It's gonna happen every single fucking time.